There's been so much going on with Call of Duty over the last 10 years that a lot of times when crazy stories come out, it doesn't even surprise me anymore, right? Like a lot of the issues with Call of Duty that have been popping up, we've known about for years. And a lot of the crazy news stories that come out, they just seem like, just another day in the Call of Duty news cycle. But this is probably the craziest Call of Duty news that I have ever seen or heard. And I decided like I had to make a video about this just because I was playing Call of Duty back in 2012 and 2013 when this was happening. So I do got to start the video out by saying I am not going to be talking about the real victims in all these Jeffrey Epstein cases because one, I just don't want to be disrespectful. And two, obviously, I don't know all the information about it. I'm not a channel that talks about heavy, terrible, like awful things like that. But he stepped into my domain, bro. They stepped into my territory with this one. So for those who haven't been in the news or seen the news cycle lately, I don't really blame you because there's a lot of garbage out there right now. But the Epstein files have been being released, and we've been getting a lot of information, a lot of surprising information from them. And one of the craziest things I saw was that Freddie Fazbear was legitimately in the Epstein files due to Jeffrey Epstein being a huge FNAF fan, which obviously, you know what? That kind of tracks. I'm not saying everybody who's into FNAF is a creep, but all the creeps are into FNAF, if you get what I'm saying. But back in 2013, there were emails where Jeffrey Epstein was considering, or his advisors were pushing for him to buy stock in Call of Duty back in 2018 for Black Ops 4. But if you go even deeper, there were emails from 2013 which revealed that Jeffrey Epstein's advisors were talking to former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick about microtransactions in Call of Duty back in 2013. For those who don't know, Bobby Kotick very much hated. I think he actually stepped away from Activision like last year, maybe the year before. It was sometime recent, but he was in every single thumbnail on Call of Duty videos for a good 4 years because of the skill-based matchmaking debacle. I even think I have a thumbnail from years ago with Bobby Kotick in it because I was making videos back in 2017 about how Activision doesn't care about you. They don't care about their fan base. They're just here to make money. They truly don't care about screwing these kids over. They put all these loot boxes in games. They're trying to get kids to gamble. But I think the funniest part about all that, well, I guess I shouldn't say funny when referring to Jeffrey Epstein, but in this specific instance with the Call of Duty, situation that popped up, they were quoted by saying, "I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy." Like, bro, they were actively fucking over the community way back then, which, by the way, I believe Epstein was a publicly known PDF file by that time. I can't remember if his case was 2012 or 2008, but this was 2013, dude, and they were talking with the CEO of Activision, man. The corruption just never ends with that company. Activision, we shouldn't be surprised that they were in cahoots with Epstein. I mean, we had the news stories, I covered the news stories a couple years ago, where apparently, or not even apparently, Activision had created a toxic culture in their workplace towards women. I believe a woman even committed suicide, but they subjected women to cube crawls and all these terrible, awful things. And now we know they were in cahoots with Jeffrey. So who would have fucking thought the company that doesn't respect women and tries to get kids to gamble, like they're the same people that we're talking with, one of the biggest pedos that the world has ever seen. And it's just blew my mind. Like, out of all the things to see when I woke up, I checked my phone, I was seeing, all the Epstein files news. Like, I was paying attention, like the crazy stuff with all the big names in it, right? Like fucking Elon Musk got called an idiot and shit like that in some of these emails. Like, big people were in these emails, and then I see this news story about Call of Duty being in the emails, and I was like, there's no way, right? There's absolutely no way. But no, 100%. They were in contact with Jeffrey Epstein. The head of Activision, Bobby Kotick, was working and communicating with one of the biggest pedophiles known to the fucking world. So, I mean, obviously that's disgusting. And in a best case scenario, Activision's company just plummets. I would hope their stock plummets after this. But obviously that's not going to happen. The rich and powerful and elite, they're just going to keep making money. They don't care about this stuff. I mean, the files themselves, like I said, I'm not going to get into all this stuff because I don't want to be disrespectful to the victims and talk about stuff that I don't know about. But there's some really disgusting shit in there, man. And I'm really happy that, we're getting these files released and hopefully they all get released so we can actually go after all these fucking evil, terrible people in them. But dude, the fact that this game that I've been playing for like 15 years, like probably even longer at this point, like that's just crazy that they were in cahoots with this guy. And I think what's even more wild is that Epstein himself got banned from Xbox Live back in 2012, 2013. He was in those Black Ops 2 lobbies with us, bro. He got banned for excessive, abusive chat and harassment. Like, bro, he was scooping up kids on fucking COD. Like, it was ridiculous, man. It just blows my mind. Now, apparently, the rumor is, he was blackmailing, Bill Gates, and there was this whole, conspiracy behind him getting banned. But point is, Activision was working with a sexual predator and trying to, for a while. It wasn't just like one conversation in 2013. No, he was going to be buying stock in 2018. Like, that's not even 10 years ago, dude. That's Black Ops 4. It just blows my mind. And I know I've said it a million times, but like, it's just crazy. I think the whole thing is crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really got to say about it. I don't want to drag this video a lot longer than it really needs to be. I've said what I wanted to say. What are your guys' thoughts on Jeffrey Epstein and Call of Duty being in the Epstein files? Bobby Kotick and Activision. What do you guys want to see happen? I mean, I would definitely love to see Activision lose its company, lose its stock, and lose everything. That would be great. Would it ruin a bunch of the games that I love? We wouldn't get these new games. Yeah, we probably wouldn't get Call of Duty for a while. But do I care? No. Get rid of this company. Get rid of everything they stand for. And to all those YouTubers that will still be taking money from Activision afterwards, shame on you. Shame on you, man. This is just disgusting. But that's all I got to say. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Help me on that road to 2,200 subscribers. Let me know what you thought about the video down in the comment section below. And that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have an amazing one, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Austin, and I'm out. Peace, guys.